welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Delegate Jill P. Carter, this has been an incredibly interesting week for politics. Big news that everyone's talking about now that Osama has been taken care of is Peter O'Malley's surprise now at City Hall, the new chief of staff for Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. Your thoughts?
Well, if I were running in the mayor's race, and even as a citizen, I'm very concerned about that. I mean, basically, Peter O'Malley steps down from as chair of the Democratic Party for the state to be chief of staff to Stephanie Rawlings-Blake. You know, what I think it's going to be a detriment and a handicap to the other candidates in the mayor's race, because clearly he's going to come with all those resources he's going to bring from the Democratic Party. Stephanie Rawlings-Blake already has raised a lot more money and has access to a lot more donors than the other candidates. I think it just basically shores up her victory.
When we gave the forum Wednesday, we realized that there's nothing else scheduled in terms of the other candidates, and at least until the July 5 filing deadline. So, in retrospect, was it too soon to begin the mayoral discussions?
No, I think that it's never too soon to begin the mayoral discussions, but you know, the burden is on the other candidates. Probably the reason that they want to wait until July is because they want to wait and see if they can raise the money so they can be deemed viable candidates from July until the sprint in September. But to be honest with you, and you know, people aren't going to necessarily like me saying this, I think that the power of incumbency, the power of the Democratic machine, the power of Governor O'Malley and his insiders, his brother working for Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, I think it's pretty much a slam dunk.
Well, what does this mean for the future of African Americans in a majority black city?
What does it mean for the, well, you know, Stephanie Rawlings-Blake is African American, but you know, I think that that's not the issue.
What's the issue?
The issue is, where do we stand as African Americans in Baltimore City, a city where we still remain the majority in terms of numbers, but not necessarily in terms of voting, and we saw that in the last state's attorney's race.
Well, what are we, about 40% of the voting base in Baltimore City?
I think a little more than that, but we are outnumbered in terms of no longer the voting majority, and basically, no offense to Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, but she has been heavily mentored by the Democrat machine, by Governor O'Malley, by Senator Mikulski. And so my concern about her is that she's not a leader. She's going to always take kind of the orders from those Democrat machine politicians. And what that means is nothing against Democrats. I'm a Democrat. It means that we may not see the leadership that we need in Baltimore City. I'm concerned about that.
What should people in Baltimore want in their mayor?
Intelligence, independence, and a person that understands the needs of the entire populace of the city. There's many communities that have been neglected for a very long time, decades, and we need a mayor that's going to understand that you can't continue to have two Baltimores. You can't continue to have like part of Baltimore that looks like Beirut and the other part that looks like an up-and-coming progressive city with all of the advantages of Inner Harbor East and the like. I don't believe that Stephanie Rawlings-Blake has that kind of sensibility, and I also don't believe, because of how she's being mentored, that she's really going to understand that she's got to be a leader to include all of Baltimore. She's got to fix what's wrong with the schools, and Lord knows we have a lot wrong with the schools. Even though there's progress, there's not enough. You're always going to have the people at the top that are going to excel, but there's the middle and the lower prong that are still being left out.
A huge question that came across this week, along with that announcement of Peter O'Malley, was the fact that Baltimore's public schools CEO, Superintendent Dr. Andres Alonso, after a buyout for many veteran teachers, now suggests he needs 15 six-figure salaried positions at North Avenue, and that causes some concern with a lot of citizens who thought that money was tight.
Money is tight. In fact, as you know, the governor even cut funding to education, and the city has a local contribution, and it doesn't have enough money to even give the maximum that we need there. So basically, I understand, because the problem with the school system for a very long time has been the bureaucracy at North Avenue, has been it's too top-heavy, and so I really think there is legitimate reason for concern about that, and I think, honestly, there should be some more transparency, and Dr. Alonso should probably come out and make a statement about what the need is, why we need those positions, and why such high level salaries.
Good deal. Any final thoughts?
Baltimore, wake up. You have the power to change the city, but you're not going to do it as long as you're asleep and just accept status quo politicians that are actually political phonies that basically are in office, go along with the status quo, and make no real change. The only way you're going to change Baltimore is you have to step up and not only vote, but select and choose candidates that you hold accountable. I'm not optimistic, Baltimore, but I still have some hope.
Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. Delegate Jill P. Cotter.
Thanks, Downey Glover. Are you going in to this thing?